Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Vita and Chip and Culpy.
Alright. This is a true cult pick.
Yep.
True cult pick. This is the black metal band, but they're getting progressive. Is that what Damon said?
Yeah, and he said that this kind of shows this one song, you know, they were thinking is a bridge between the two ways that this band does music. So
they started out like, this is Enslaved is the name of the band. They started out as a regular black metal band, and then
black metal,
and then they morphed into progressive. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. If you want to see behind the scenes of what life is like for this one, you can check her out at My Sori Life. Mm-hmm. Have you uploaded any of your bonus stuff?
No, I have to. I haven't made that video.
Good Lord. This water was actually pretty good.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'm not advertising for them or anything, but it was really good. Like, when we were
perfectly balanced
running and stuff like that, this would have been my water for sure. I'd have bought like 50 of these things.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's such a giant container.
Yeah. It makes me feel special, like very spacey when I drink it too. Like, I feel like, because I don't see a lot of people drinking water from this thing, so.
No, I don't either.
And if you want to get angry, you can check out Middle America, Vin and Sori.
Did you finish editing and upload last night?
Finished editing and uploading at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, that was a labor of love. You know, I had to do that one.
Yeah.
So, there you are. All right. As fire swept clean the earth.
Yep. And go. instruments.
That.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was. I'm pretty sure that was guitar. I think that was
pretty.
guitar with a pretty pretty nice little distortion thing there.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is one of those songs where I was like, all right, what does the lyrics say? But then, like, I really just love the main. It's kind of like I don't like them as much as Magua, but the way that Magua kind of uses that. They have that one melody with the tremolo, and they just stay with it.
Yeah. Yep. They did kind of stick to the same thing.
They kind of stick. I love that stuff. I love that about black metal. I love that they will stay with it and not try to. If it's a good melody, though, if it's not a good melody and they stay with it, then I don't like it.
How did this show them being progressive, though? Am I missing something?
Well, there was a rhythm change, like in the middle of the song. It was kind of abrupt too. I usually like to melt into rhythm changes, which is what I think was that last Opeth song that we really liked.
Yep.
The time signature, it changed drastically, but it kind of melted into each other.
Right.
And
right.
You were on another rhythm or time signature, you just didn't know it. Mm-hmm. This one was kind of abrupt. It was kind of like, and then it went to that, whatever that thing was. So that's, I think, a staple of progressive music. But they're not like progressive like neo-progressive. Mm-hmm. But they're not traditional true called black metal either. Mm-hmm. This song wasn't anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't really. So like halfway through, I'm like, I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to the lyrics. I really liked the musicianship, especially the drumming. The way that the drumming went along with the guitar was pretty hypnotic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I liked instrumentally what they were doing, and then I kept saying, "Oh wait, I wanted to check out the lyrics," because I had an assumption, that it's something about, the end of the world and the end of existence or something like that. But even as I read the lyrics over and over, like I really couldn't grasp what was actually happening. Like, I was left with a lot of questions.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't really look a lot at the lyrics because I was really, really, really enjoying the sound of the guitar.
Mm-hmm, me too.
As fire swept clean the earth, the dead stare, the crossing, queen of the night, havenless, ridicule swarm, in a darker place. This is one of those like songs where you like turn off the lights and stuff and whatever. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad. I'm glad it was 6 minutes and they didn't try to like do
make
something.
It 15.
Yeah, like it's like, come on, man. There's no reason to do that.
Well, I thought that it's funny because I didn't really hear the vocals a whole lot. Like I did hear them, but I was lost in the instrumentation.
Right.
And so the vocals became.
Right. This is why Magua is a little bit higher in my mind than these guys, is because Magua has the instrumentation that you can get lost in, but the lyrics are also very.
Yeah, right in there.
I just love Magua.
You do.
I think they're great. Okay. So yeah, I love the instrumentation. That was like my favorite part of the song, which is something that like over time I learned from you, like. Because a lot of times I'm listening to music, I'm like, like looking at the lyrics thing, and because I'm background in literature and all that, so that's important to me. And obviously, the hip hop background where you have rap, and rap is very centered around it. Everything is about the lyrics, So, but like experiencing the song too with metal is important. Okay, so lyrically he says, I close my eyes as fire swept clean the earth, nothing left to strangle as the cords were torn from our hearts.
The fire is strangling? That's kind of what I was like.
No, the fire swept clean the earth.
Yeah, nothing left to strangle. You know how, like, fire, like, kills all the oxygen and you're essentially strangled? Like if you take a candle and you put the fire out?
Yeah.
So like I thought it swept clean the earth, nothing left to strangle. Like there was nothing left for the fire to burn.
Yeah, I looked at Nothing Left to Strangle as like, which was weird, but you ever see those cartoons where like the vines like kind of come to life and like trap people in forests and stuff like that? So that's what I got, was that the fire like burned all that and there was nothing left to strangle them or entangle them, because the next line talks about cords that were torn from our hearts. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if the fire, if they're talking about like some apocalyptic episode where like this literally happened, or it's talking about something that happened in his life with his, with his significant other, which he, took them away from each other, and then he's using that term to mean that, like that the world ended basically because their relationship was over.
Wow, I didn't get that at all.
As the cords were torn from our hearts. And usually you hear about the cords of love or whatever that bind people together.
Yep.
And he's saying that the fire came and cleaned everything out and tore the cords of love from their hearts, I think is. Tired, I blew out my last warning. The claws were ripping me apart. As we emerged from darker dungeons, the splendor of yellow hells.
This part was so gross to me.
Why?
Splendor of yellow hells, expanded swollen eyes. I don't know, like whatever was happening, like their eyes are all like swollen shut. I don't know if it was from the fire or if they were down in these dungeons where it's dark, and then when it got brighter, I don't know, but the swollen eyes, expanded swollen eyes.
What was that movie? There's that movie, I think it's Total Recall, where like there was this one scene where like the guy's eyes started bulging out of his head or whatever because he was, I don't know, like he didn't have his helmet on or something like that. Ew. I forgot. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. But the splendor of yellow hells, I just thought was about like the fire. Like the flames of the fire or whatever. And there is something very splendid about fire and flames.
Oh my gosh, I know, yeah.
It's such a crazy idea. We were watching that show about like the first humans or whatever. Remember that? And then they discovered fire.
Right.
Because there was like some forest fire or something like that, and they like they didn't know what it was, so they gathered up to go fight it, and then they got all obviously they got burned or whatever. But like,
that's not what you believe though, right? Don't you believe that like angels, whether they were good or they were bad, taught humans fire? Didn't you read that somewhere? And I thought that was
I mean that's in the book of Enoch. That's
always in the book of Enoch.
That's an Enochian idea.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more boring than Enoch. I just think
really?
I just think that we were just born. I just think that Adam and Eve they were with God.
Yeah.
So
you think God taught them?
Yeah, I think the wheel and fire and all that, I just think that God just said, hey, there you go. I don't think that, Enoch applies that all to...
Well, I mean, as a father, you teach your children, as a mother too, you teach your children, so, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I just think it was inherently, And when I say taught, I don't mean like he sat down and said, okay, this is what fire is. I just think it was already in the programming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think that we spent thousands of years trying to figure out fire.
Well, I would think that he would have taught us, like, look, if you take this stick and you rub these together, you can...
I don't know, there's just some stuff that you know by intuition. There's some stuff that I just knew by intuition.
Yeah, but starting a fire with 2 sticks is not one of them. That's a very difficult task.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that, but I don't think that that's how the first folks started fires anyway.
How do you think they started them?
What do you mean, how do you think they started them?
You don't think they started it with sticks, so I'm asking you how you thought they started them.
Flint rocks.
Oh.
But, I mean, yeah.
I just always thought that you thought it was the angels that taught them that.
Nah, I'm just a lot more boring than that. I just think that it just came with the packaging.
But Adam and Eve would have had to teach their kids.
Sure. But I don't think it was like some giant discovery like we think it was. I think it was actually pretty standard. No words were said as fire swept clean the earth. Would the mothers be crying if they saw torches in our hands?
That part confused me.
Why?
Because, like, in other words, would the mothers be crying if they figured out it was us that started the fire? Is that what the torches in their hands meant?
Well, yes.
Is this like about? But is it like we all have torches in our hands and we're scorching the earth? Like, is this a
like a
love the earth type thing? How does this fit into your relationship theory? And
well, it says the mothers.
Yeah. Would the mothers be crying if they saw torches in our hands?
The wind, once able to conquer, captured as fire swept clean the earth. Kiss was placed upon my cheek, and all color came back, melting in solid blue tune. So they solved the problem.
What do you mean?
He got kissed on the cheek.
Yeah.
All color came back, and then it melted from yellow to blue. Because it said yellow up here, splendor of yellow hells. Yeah. Then a kiss was placed on his cheek, and then boom, that goes to the relationship thing. They found a way to fix the relationship. So there was
all color came back. So the world got its color back.
Right.
What does melting in solid blue tune mean?
Because it said the splendor of yellow hells.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the fire, and then blue is kind of like the water and the, peacefulness and all that jazz. So, the relationship, they were able to figure it out.
So you think it's a relationship song?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a relationship song. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I mean, I would have never got relationship out of this.
Really?
Yeah, I would have just thought that, like, we figured out how not to destroy the earth.
You think we have?
No. Well, honestly, I think that we know what we need to do. We're just unwilling to do it.
I just don't think that the rest of the song titles kind of go with the earth idea.
You think that they go with the love theme?
Havenless, Queen of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
The Dead Stare. I don't know. I just think this is probably a more personal record than a meta record about the earth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the name of the record is called Below the Lights, which could be another way of saying under the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Below, under the lights, sun. So it's about life on the earth, and trying to make it through with someone. I don't know. I really like the song though. Lyrically, it's interesting because it just seems like the whole problem is resolved kind of randomly at the end of the stanza.
I know. Yeah.
It's all these terrible things, the mothers, torches, fire. A kiss was placed upon my cheek and all color came back, melting into a solid blue tune. Problem solved.
Love is kind of like that. Like, man. Love is kind of like that. Like, it makes you feel like everything's okay. Like, and it can make you feel like everything's okay really fast, even though it's not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We'd have to keep looking at the other record to see if the problem got solved or there's more problems. I mean, like I said, there's Queen of the Night or whatever.
Right.
So who knows? Or your initial one could be right, and this is about some meta, issue, and it's about global warming or something. Who knows? Mm-hmm. What do you give the song?
And 8.7.
This is a 9.4 for me.
Wow.
It would have been a 10 if I could have had the lyrics, like.
More lyrics?
Yeah, well, I couldn't hear them. I couldn't hear them. I knew what they were because of the lyrics were in front of me, but I couldn't hear them in the song. So the lyrics really.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the thing could have really been an instrumental, and I would have probably given it a similar score. I mean, that's how little the vocalizations had to do with my score of the song. But the melody was really, really powerful to me. And I really, really enjoyed it. So hopefully there are more Enslaved fans out there that that want this stuff, because I'd like to listen to these guys some more. So 9.3.
8.7.
Shout out to the True Cult. Shout out to Alec, the big homie. Shout out to David Sage. We'll be seeing you guys soon. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.